Welcome to Fun with Hot Glue. Now today we're working on this little guy here. It's a Final Faction X3 Torrent. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to start the base with the hot glue. Notice I have a cup, or some people call it a mug, behind me. Now I dip it into the hot glue to cool it down, give it a little bit of shape. You can use any type of mug you want. I like this one because it has a wide open mug top there, and that gives me enough room to put the whole entire end of the turret in there. As you can see, I'm adding little bits at a time. You don't want to go too much, because too much would fall down into the mug and it would ruin the whole experience. There, I'm cooling it off here. I'll move the mug a little closer for you. And see, you can already see the start. Already see the start of what we would call a fire blast out of the turret. Now this will make the turret pretty happy here, because he's not very happy if he's not firing. That's the only purpose of a turret. Now I'm using a glue gun. I got it at the Dollar Tree, or actually the Dollar General, my mistake. And I keep adding a little bit more here. See how I let it kind of flow down a little bit to give it natural? I let gravity do the molding. And see there, it's already starting to take a little shape. You know, if you want to give it a little hand there in molding, you can do that too. But I mostly like to use the gravity to shape the turret. Fire blast. It's starting to really take shape here. Now I dip it in the water every time to help it cool down quicker. There is a time when you dip it into the water and you can still give it a lot of shape before it completely hardens. I like to call that the in-between phase of the hot glue process. See there, I'm adding a little shape to it, a little more shape. Putting it back in. It's taking a little swim there to cool down. Sometimes when you get real hot, you just got to take a swim to cool down. And that's the same process here. See how I'm molding it a little bit in that in-between phase? And there you go. I keep adding little bits at a time. You don't want to go too fast because you don't want to scare the little guy. Now he's starting to look real happy. It's a real happy little fire blast there. You can already start to see the shape of the hot glue. There you go. See, adding a little bit at a time to your liking. Now you can add as much as you want or as little as you want. It's really up to you. It's all about fun, and having fun with hot glue is what I'm all about. Keep adding a little bit more to the tip there. You don't want to make them too big. You just want to make them big enough. And there you go. Sometimes there's a little string on the end. And a little helpful tip, if you pull on that string, that'll kind of give it a better shape. Just pull the string just a little bit. You don't want to pull too much because that'll pull it off. But if you pull the string, it'll shaping it out into that point there. Kind of simulate the bullet or the rocket coming out. There you go. You want to add a little bit more there to the shape. Fill in all the holes there. Pull on the string. Kind of nudge it with my finger there. Just give him a little nudge. Just a little nudge. And right there you go. And maybe just a little bit more drops. Kind of give him a little mold. You don't want to push too hard though, because that'll flatten it out and put your fingerprint in it. And you don't want your fingerprints in it. You don't want your fingerprints in, then they can go back and look at it and tell who you are and might come and get you. Never want to leave fingerprints ever. Never, any place, anywhere. You never want to leave fingerprints so they can track you down and catch you for what you did. There you go. See right there? Just a little bit. Not too much. Not too much. Just keep adding it. Adding a little bit there. Just a little bit more. Make them a little happy. There you go. Push up on it just a hair. Just give it a little bit of shape. what gravity can't do. Gravity's our friend here, and gravity's definitely a friend with hot glue. There you go, it's starting to harden. And I'll show you how to make the smoke later in another video. And that's pretty good. That's looking good. I like it. Maybe just a little bit more. You know, you saw that little indent there. It didn't quite come out to my liking. But I'm going to go ahead and start on the other one. Because if you know one thing about turrets, they need a friend. They're kind of like horses and donkeys. You want to have a companion donkey or a companion goat. You know, something they can share their life with. And turrets are just like that. So you want to do another turret on the other side. Now you can apply this logic to single guns, and it's pretty much the same process. A little less involved because they're not as big. This is a little bit of a bigger example, and I thought that'd be a good way to start out because you could see a little bit more of the detail in it. The guns are real quick and easy, and usually only take 1 or 2 drops to mold it into a fire blast. Now everything's going real good here for me. The best thing about working with hot glue is if you make a mistake, all you do is just pull it off and start over again. There's really no mistakes in hot glue. Hot glue is not like life. If you make mistakes in life, sometimes you pay for them for a really long time. But it's all right. Hot glue, they don't judge you as harshly as all the people around you. People will always judge you harshly, but hot glue does not. Hot glue is your friend, and that's why you like to have fun with hot glue, and that's why I'm here today. Now, the interesting thing here is, see how it's looking there? Now, a little bit of history of the Final Faction figures here that I'm using. This is an X3 turret from the Dollar Tree Final Faction line. Now, it only cost me $1.25. Actually, this one might have cost me $1 before they raised the prices, but we won't get into that. But $1, even $1.25, this is a great value for a little tiny turret that you can be friends with. I enjoy the Final Faction figures. They're fun to make displays, and you can do. It really brings out the creativity of people. And hey, if you mess up, it's not a big deal. You're only out $1.25. There's a lot more expensive hobbies, and some of those hobbies you have to go to rehab for. But I won't want to talk about my life. So we keep adding little filters here, a little bit more each time. Let the gravity do the talking for us. Even though I'm talking a lot here, it's just to kind of explain my process here. It's coming out pretty good. I like it so far. I'm pretty happy with it. We'll see that little nubbin there. Yeah, you kind of shape that a little bit. Not too hard. Don't leave fingerprints. 7, 4. I definitely think we know where this is heading. That little nubbin there. Just pull on it just a little bit there. That's what I like to call them. I call them nubbins. Just more looks like a glop of glue there, but eventually that glop of glue is going to turn into a little blast of joy. Maybe take down a few Karn. There you go. See, now you want to pull on that little end there just a little bit. Pull on that string. That's I usually end up with little strings all over myself and the table, and some super glue gets a little stringier than others, and that's a pain in the butt. But you can just cut those off with scissors after everything's all nice and dried. Just a little bit more, just a little bit. See it there? See, you don't want to scare them. You don't want to scare them by adding too much. Just a little bit, just a little bit. It's like talking to a squirrel. And if you want to offer him a nut. And now it looks pretty good, and we're on to the painting portion of this set, because this looks really good. And now here comes the painting portion. I like to use this transparent paint that I got at the Hobby Lobby. And I got a nice little bowl out here. It's a styrofoam bowl. You can use any type of bowl you want. I prefer the styrofoam bowls because they're cheap and you can just throw them away afterwards, because you don't want to reuse styrofoam bowls. That's weird. Don't mind that cat. The cat just likes to walk around sometimes. And the weird thing is, I don't even have a cat. So this cat just comes in the house sometimes and just kind of smacks me with its paw when it's got its front claws, and it hurts. But I can't seem to get rid of it. I've tried many different things. Okay, now, if you've noticed here, I'm using a Q-tip. And the Q-tip I like to use because they're cheap, they're disposable, and as you can see, they work pretty good. And I always forget to wash out my paintbrushes afterwards, and they get all hard and they can't be used again. But with a Q-tip, you can just throw it away. Now, I would not suggest putting it in your ear with the paint on it, because that could cause some hearing issues. But you do what you want. And you can use paintbrushes if you want. If you're good about cleaning them out, go ahead. Have fun. That's what this is all about. It's fun with hot glue. It's not horror or terror with hot glue. It's fun with hot glue. Now, see how that transparent paint, it's not real thick. It looks kind of transparent. And the transparency is what gives it a blast effect. Now, these blast effects are a cheap, simple alternative to the expensive ones you can get off of eBay. They're very expensive for little pieces of plastic, and essentially you're doing the same thing. In fact, I think they might use hot glue for their blast effects. And see how nice that looks? That looks like a flame. Yeah, that's a nice flame right there. Those are some good blast effects. I'm pretty proud of the way it turned out. Now we're on to what I like to call the final portion of the video. The final portion of the video is after letting it dry for a little bit. Now there you go. There's your little flame effects. Now you can scare away all the dragons. So I really appreciate today. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and I hope you have your fun with hot glue, because everybody has fun with hot glue. You just have a beautiful day now. Thank you.